Welcome to Business Talk here on businesstech.co.za, South Africa's #1 business news website. Today, we're getting under the hood of Vodacom Business's shift from telco to techco and the partnerships that are powering that evolution. From precision agriculture and connected clinics to logistics and learning, I think the common thread is impact at scale. And joining me, who is someone right at the center of it all, is Yashika Satgoor, who's Executive Head of Ventures and Partnerships at Vodacom Business. So if you're a CIO, if you're a founder or a policymaker, this is an episode that's certainly for you. It's where ecosystem thinking meets execution. So Yashika, it's great to have you on the show. And maybe just to frame the big picture for us, start us off. What sits in your remit as Executive Head of Ventures and Partnerships, corporate venture building? Is it JVs? Is it strategic alliances? Is it ecosystem platforms? Is it all of the above?
Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity. So let me get straight into it. So in my role, I lead Vodacom Business's efforts to co-create and commercialize partnerships that deliver measurable value to our customers and communities. So there are two dimensions to it. It's ventures, where I oversee a portfolio of companies, which is IoT.next, Nexio, Xlink, and Mezzanine, ensuring that they innovate, perform, and align with Vodacom's broader techco strategy. The second element is strategic partnerships. So I also build and manage strategic partnerships with global and local technology leaders and innovators. And these partnerships allow us to bring the best of global platforms and local entrepreneurship together to accelerate digital transformation. So to answer your question, it's all of the above. We do everything from strategic partnerships to joint venturing. So at its core, my role is about being a connector and catalyst, aligning ventures, partners, and Vodacom's capabilities to unlock growth, foster entrepreneurship, and drive development.
It's an incredible role to be in. It's almost like being at the venture capital head of an organization that gets to partner or buy existing businesses and build them into this broader ecosystem that Vodacom straddles. So how do you decide build versus partner versus buy? Because there's so many different approaches, especially when it comes to new technologies. And what's the kind of scorecard that you use? Time to value, capability fit, IP. Maybe you can just take us through how you approach going about that mandate.
Absolutely. So yes, I think, in this ecosystem that we're in at the moment, it's your options are build, buy, or partner, or do some of it all together. It's very difficult to build capabilities in an organization for everything that you would like to achieve. So at Vodacom Business, we look at all our partnerships, from a different angle and different lens. So we start with customer and societal needs, and a partnership to us is only strategic if it helps us solve a pressing challenge, whether it's something that's improving access to the likes of digital healthcare, enabling our SME businesses and helping them to scale, or also helping enterprises to accelerate cloud adoption or to build cybersecurity resilient solution. So our selection criteria is based on 3 elements. The first one is a strategic alignment. Does it fit our techco vision of moving beyond connectivity into platforms such as IoT, AI, big data, and cloud? The second criteria would be complementary strengths. And here I look at, does the partner bring capabilities that we do not have currently as an organization? Can we offer reach, scale, and therefore in return build a trust relationship between us? And the third element is a shared value. So does the partnership create measurable benefits for all sides? So that would be Vodacom Business and the partner and the end customer or the community. So what makes it truly strategic is when both parties commit to the long term. We invest in co-creation and build together. So for us, it's not just about the transaction, but it's also about creating shared innovation and impact. And that leads to how we select our partners.
Yeah, and I think looking for all of those things helps create that filter. where you're looking for a partner who can add value, who would like to work with a corporate that gives you that distribution and that reach and the ability, if you're a tech founder, to play in that kind of sandbox must be hugely exciting, but also then to have the values that underpin that. But often I think partnerships can look great on a slide, but they still might fail in the trenches. So what might be the red flags for you that might stop a deal? Or even if you've executed on a transaction, you realize, wait, maybe there isn't quite the alignment between ourselves and the jockey that we thought was there initially.
Correct. Yes. So I think for us, some of the things that we always look at and the red flags, it's very important to understand the principles on which the partnership was founded. What were the agreements? What did we agree to? What did we ensure that we were shaping together? So some of the red flags would definitely be things like, governance breaches, not following the proper governance as defined in the relationship. I think some of the other aspects would be, the contractual elements where we may have decided, is this going to be an exclusive partnership for a specified amounts of time? And if we see our partner, trying to circumvent the exclusivity, I think the other red flags would be, the client spaces. When you enter into a partnership with a specific entity, one of the things that's always going to be a challenge to be managed is your client spaces. So often what I would do together with the team is we would map out our journey to say, these are the customers that would be Vodacom Business owned. These are the customers that are owned by the partner, because they could be bringing in existing clientele. And we actually define the rules of engagement quite clearly. So where red flags would come in is if those rules of engagement are not being followed, and there is an intersection in client spaces where one is not being ethical about the approach. So those are all the red flags that I typically look out for from our partners. And it's always, you have to be on top of it to manage it, to ensure that it doesn't lead to a broader issue in the long run.
Yeah. And it certainly is a key enabler, though, on that broader journey from being a telco on the one hand to now a techco. Because just listening to you talk about what you're looking for is you're looking for partners who can add value for your SME clients, be it in health tech or any other maybe pain point that they've got when it comes to payments, for example, cloud accounting, all of that kind of thing, which I think is a really interesting evolution for a large telco to think of itself more as a tech company and enabler. How do these partnerships from where you're sitting accelerate this transformation and help you scale up solutions across various industries?
So partnerships are the engine of our techco transformation. Moving from the telco to techco means going beyond connectivity to deliver platforms in cloud, cybersecurity, IoT, and digital services. And we know that we cannot do this alone. So every telco globally is pursuing this shift. But what sets Vodacom Business apart is the way that we combine our global partnerships with our local ventures and a national development focus. So on the one hand, our collaborations with global players, for example, the hyperscalers in the cloud space, would give us access to world-class platforms and security capabilities. On the other hand, our local subsidiaries like Nexio, IoT.next, Xlink, and Mezzanine will thereafter adapt and deploy these technologies in ways that work for Africa and provide solutions that are affordable, scalable, and inclusive. So this model allows us to respond directly to South Africa's unique challenges, from affordability constraints and infrastructure strain to skills shortages. So by co-creating with our partners and leveraging our local ventures, we ensure that digital transformation is not just about technology adoption, but about real-time impact, where we enable SMEs, as an example, to digitize. So in short, our partners are not just helping us to keep up with global trends, but they're how Vodacom is helping shape a uniquely African techco story.
And I think, when you mentioned IoT.next, one of my abiding memories when I first interviewed the founder of that business was just what remarkable talent we have in that space of of tech innovation, building out this ecosystem. I think one of the first interviews I ever did talking about the Internet of Things and predictive maintenance and how we can connect in an industrial scale all of our devices and really build resilience into organizations. So maybe you could give us one or two examples where partnership delivered real measurable outcomes for businesses and communities, and some of the KPIs, yield uplift or SME productivity or jobs even, that were enabled by the partnership.
Sure. So, one example that I can cite is Mezzanine's digital agriculture platform, where partnerships with governments and development agencies have enabled small scale farmers to access market information, finance, and also have access to better distribution channels. Here, farmers have improved their yields and income, while Vodacom has strengthened its role as a trusted enabler of inclusive growth. So, key KPI here was crop improvement and yields. Another is IoT.next, where we have partnered with energy intensive industries to optimize energy consumption. So this not only reduced costs for businesses, but also contributed to their sustainability goals, whilst also aligning commercial success with an ESG impact. So these examples, which are just a few, show that our partnerships deliver a triple win where we have better business outcomes, stronger communities, and a key role for Vodacom as a catalyst for transformation.
And I mean, would you say, obviously, building ecosystems requires more than just a transactional approach to any kind of business relationship? Would you say that approach helps Vodacom better foster long-term collaborative partnerships that really drive digital transformation?
Absolutely. So, how do we see our partnerships as ecosystems and not as just contracts? So, to build ecosystems, we invest in three things. We look at the first one is joint roadmaps. We co develop strategies with our partners so that our success is interconnected. The second is governance and trust. We establish steering committees, joint working groups, and shared accountability mechanisms to ensure that there is alignment and we keep this alignment. And the third is co innovation. We don't just resell, we also co create. So, IoT.next, as an example, was born out of a collaboration and now powers solutions across multiple industries. So long-term collaboration it's about patience and trust. It's recognizing that building digital ecosystems is a marathon and it's not a sprint. We focus heavily on mutual investment, shared IP, and aligned incentives. So partners see us as long-term co-builders of transformation and not just a channel. And I think it's also important to emphasize when I say investment is also people investment and time and skills, and the effort that it goes to build these partnerships.
Yeah, often it's you can have the greatest technology, but it's the human element at the end of the day that drives the success or the execution of these partnerships. And I think scale as well, because some of the biggest challenges happen at scale when, especially, you're dealing with someone or an organization as large as Vodacom, and you integrating into such a large organization. So how do you manage that kind of risk and complexity? But it comes with all kinds of integration debt and compliance and procurement cycles. How do you de-risk without slowing that innovation that really was the first reason you decided to get into bed together in the first place?
Yes, I think it's the key to it is ensuring that there's alignment from a business perspective. It's bringing everybody on a journey to ensuring that the partnership becomes a success and ensuring that all the relevant stakeholders are engaged and they understand the impact and what we are trying to achieve. When I look at it, one challenge is balancing diverse objectives. A global partner may prioritize technology adoption, whilst a local partner may focus on cost and accessibility. So, what I do with the team as well is to ensure that we balance diverse objectives by addressing this by setting shared success measures upfront, such as adoption rates, customer satisfaction, etc. And this is just in addition to revenue and profitability targets. Another challenge that we often have is sustaining momentum. partnerships often start with energy, but risk losing pace. And that's where governance and performance reviews are quite critical. I hold regular joint steering sessions, review KPIs, and adjust strategies quickly with our partners. And this is key because the business also comes on this journey, and where we see we may be stagnating, or it may not be what we initially planned, we got to look at pivoting and ensuring that we adapt quickly to the changing landscape. So ultimately, success comes when all stakeholders see value, customers benefit from our innovative solutions, and partners gain skill. And Vodacom Business cements its position as a digital transformation leader.
When you look ahead, and given the lessons that you've no doubt learned in integrating these previous partnerships, and as you continue to scale and move from telco to a techco, which are the emerging technologies or the sectors that present the most exciting opportunities for partnerships to shape Vodacom's business future? And I know the big talking point obviously is artificial intelligence, and it is a bit of a buzzword at the moment, but we are seeing real use cases and applications of AI and agentic AI. What excites you most when you look at the emerging technologies?
So I see pretty big opportunities, and this landscape is changing so rapidly. So there's always more to come. But AI and data analytics, I mean, to personalize services, predict our customer needs, and enable smart decision making. The next is cloud and security. Partnerships here are crucial as enterprises and governments also digitize at scale, but demand trust and resilience. And the next is IoT and ESG solutions, from smart cities to energy optimization. IoT will drive sustainability and efficiency in ways that matter to both businesses and society. So the most exciting part is that there's no single company can do all of this alone. It takes an ecosystem of partnerships across startups, global players, governments, and communities, to make this work and to unlock the next wave of growth.
Yeah, and that is what we're talking about at the end of the day. For South Africa to truly grow and maybe leapfrog in certain areas, we know there are constraints in accessing quality healthcare or technology, and reaching some of the best radiographers, for example, requires innovation, but it requires broadband connectivity, closing that digital divide. The same can be said for education in so many areas as well. On a personal note, what part of partnerships gives you the most energy? Is it the hunt? Is it the structuring? Or is it the scaling?
So for me, what excites me the most about our partnerships is the transformational power. When I bring together different strengths, whether it is a global tech leader, a local innovator, or one of our subsidiaries, as I've mentioned, one can create solutions that genuinely change how people live and work. And seeing a partnership grow, an idea grow from just being on a whiteboard to a real world impact is what keeps me inspired. Um, and I think for me, that's the transformational power of how partnerships can unlock such exponential growth and value in our markets.
Fantastic. Well, that's where we'll leave it. Thank you very much. Partnerships with purpose, from farms to clinics to classrooms, all clearly central to Vodacom Business's techco journey and to scaling that real world impact. A big thank you to Yashika Satgoor, Executive Head Ventures and Partnerships at Vodacom Business. Fantastic insights. Remember, if you've missed any part of this conversation, you can catch the replay and more executive interviews on businesstech.co.za. Take care.